No one at St. Mercy Children's Hospital could explain why three tiny girls, triplets no older than 5, stood trembling in the hallway, clutching a crumpled note. But when Nurse Elara unfolded the paper and read the shaky handwriting, "Please visit Daddy, he's lonely," the air turned cold as if the entire building held its breath. What kind of father needed a message delivered like this? And why did the girls look as though they had no one else in the world? Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Hopeful Stories for more heartfelt stories. You won't want to miss what happens next. Nurse Elara knelt to the triplets' level, her heart pounding as she watched their identical faces, same small noses, same tear-shimmering green eyes blink back fear. They wore mismatched winter coats, the kind donated by nearby charities. Their mittens were tied together with yarn to keep them from losing them. "Sweethearts," Elara whispered. "Where's your mommy?" The smallest girl shook her head. "It's just Daddy," she said, clutching the note like it was her last hope. "He's in the big building where people wear suits. He cries a lot," the biggest girl added. "He says Christmas won't come this year." Something sharp twisted inside Elara's chest. She had seen loneliness, often patients abandoned by families, elders forgotten, but she had never seen loneliness spill out of a child like this. The girls explained their father worked in the clouds, a phrase Elara quickly pieced together as a skyscraper office. She checked the note again. It had only one clue, a hastily scribbled company name she recognized, Harrington Innovations, one of the largest corporations in the entire city. The CEO was known for being cold, ruthless, too busy, too important. And suddenly Elara wondered, could he be the father? She ushered the triplets to her small office, wrapped them in warm blankets, and listened as they shared pieces of their story. Their mother had passed away 2 winters ago. Their father, overwhelmed with grief and pressure, buried himself in work until he almost vanished from their world. He hired nannies, then let them go, convinced he could handle it alone, though he never did. They lived in a penthouse high above the city, yet felt like ghosts. This morning, when the girls woke to find their father slumped over his desk, eyes red from crying, whispering apologies to the empty room, they panicked. They had walked out with nothing but their coats, found their way to the hospital where their mother once volunteered, and begged for help the only way they knew how, through a note. Elara felt her chest tighten with a mixture of sorrow and determination. She tried calling the number on the note, no answer. She tried the company line, sent to voicemail. The triplet sat nervously at her desk, whispering that Daddy didn't know they were gone, that he never noticed when they left the room, that Mommy would have known. Elara grabbed her coat. "Girls," she said, "we're going to see your father." They followed her to the taxi, clinging to each other, and she held their hands tight. The moment they stepped out in front of the towering glass building, the wind sliced through the street and snow began to fall, each flake shimmering like pieces of hope. Inside, security tried to stop them until Elara flashed her badge and explained the situation. The guards exchanged glances. They had seen the CEO wander the halls late at night, looking hollow, unreadable. When the elevator doors opened to the top floor, an eerie silence greeted them. Paper scattered across the carpet, cold coffee on a desk, and at the center Arthur Harrington, the CEO, his shoulders shaking as he stared at a photo, his wife smiling, holding the triplets as newborns. The girls ran toward him. The moment he saw them, Arthur collapsed to his knees, tears streaming, whispering, "I didn't know. I didn't know you were hurting too." Elara realized this man wasn't cruel, he was shattered. Arthur sat with his daughters in the center of his cold, dimly lit office, holding them as if afraid they might disappear again. Elara stood quietly beside the door, watching the pieces of a broken family shift toward one another. The triplets talked all at once about how they missed him, how they didn't want another Christmas without joy, how Mommy used to sing carols with them and make cocoa with too many marshmallows. Arthur listened, his face wet, his voice cracked from silence. "I thought I was protecting you," he whispered. "I thought being strong meant not showing how much I missed her too." The smallest girl pressed her hand to his cheek and said, "We miss Mommy with you, Daddy. You don't have to be alone." Something inside Arthur's expression softened like a thaw. Elara stepped forward gently. "Mr. Harrington," she said, "loneliness doesn't ask permission to enter someone's life. but hope doesn't either. These girls didn't walk miles in the cold to shame you. They walked because they love you. Arthur nodded slowly, as though absorbing every word like medicine. After a long moment, he looked at the hospital badge pinned to Elara's coat. You helped them, he said quietly. You brought them here safely. She shrugged softly. They brought themselves. I just didn't let them walk alone. That sentence hit him like truth he had ignored for too long. Without hesitation, Arthur sent an email to his entire company, all year-end meetings canceled. Building closed for the next 48 hours. Employees stared in shock as the CEO himself carried 3 little girls through the lobby, bundled in his coat. Outside, snow fell heavier, now thick flakes swirling like the world had decided it was time for a miracle. Arthur turned to Elara. You said you're working Christmas Eve alone at the hospital? She nodded, accustomed to volunteering for the holiday shift. Then Christmas is coming to the hospital, he declared. That night, Arthur arrived at St. Mercy with carloads of blankets, toys, food, decorated trees, and volunteers he had called personally. His company converted the atrium into a Christmas village twinkling lights. Hot chocolate stands, toy shelves, and soft music, echoing warmth that had been missing for years. Children who had no visitors lit up with excitement. Nurses cried. Doctors paused from their exhaustion to soak in the miracle. The triplets ran around helping decorate, laughing a sound Arthur hadn't heard in months. As he watched them twirl under the lights, he whispered, Thank you, Elara, for giving me back my family. She smiled. They were never gone. They were just waiting for you to see them again. The triplets tugged on Arthur's coat. Daddy, they said in unison, can we stay here and help every Christmas? His eyes warmed. Every single one. And for the first time since losing his wife, Arthur felt something bloom again, not just relief, not just gratitude, but hope. Hope that Christmas could still mean healing. Hope that love could return. Hope that loneliness wasn't a life sentence. As the hospital lights glowed like stars against the windows, Elara knew she had witnessed something rare, a family finding its way back to its heartbeat. And somewhere in the quiet warmth of that night, Christmas arrived for everyone who needed it most. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Hopeful Stories. Your support helps us bring more emotional, inspiring tales to life. Thank you for watching, and may hope find you today.